Hi friends, my name is Megan and welcome to my 39th Flosstube episode. If you are new here, welcome. This is a channel that is mostly about cross stitch. I do share my other hobbies here when I have them, or when I've worked on them, but I have not worked on really anything else other than stitching in the last month or so. And if you're returning, thank you so much. You all mean more to me than you know. And I know that I say that at the beginning of every one of these, but I was really thinking about it the other day. One of my stitchy friends had posted a picture of her son on Instagram, or it was like in her stories, and I was like, man, he's gotten so big. And really, you know, for us that have like followed each other for a long time, we've been there with each other for births and deaths and accomplishments and heartache, and like, so we've like gone through so much together, and I just really appreciate you all. So I just wanted to elaborate on that a little bit this week. I hope everybody has been well. It is the beginning of March, and spring is beating down the door already. This has been the warmest winter that I can remember for a long time. The crocuses are all up already. The daffodils are up and trying to, some of them have little buds getting ready to bloom on them already. It seems crazy out there. No snow this year really to speak of. Was it last Saturday, I think? We got a couple of flurries and I was like, oh, it's so pretty good. But you know, it is what it is, I guess, for now. What else has been going on? Quentin had his birthday. He turned 18. My baby. So I guess the next big thing we're gearing up for is graduation, which will be at the end of May. So that's exciting. Aaron's pretty good. He's upstairs with the dog right now. Miss Cora decided to get up at 2:30 this morning, which I did not hear, but Aaron did. So they've been up for a while, and Miss Cora has been a little cranky because she's so tired. So that's what they're up to. The cats are pretty good. Old boy Kitty, he's 16 now, and he is being ornery. He is just running around and messing things up. He's become very vocal in his old age, and so he runs around upstairs meowing an awful lot and like jumping on the table in my craft room and making a big mess and just living his funky life, you know. If I think about it when I go upstairs to clean all this up, I take a picture of the mess that I walked in on earlier today, and I'll put it right here. He just like zooms up on the table and knocks everything down. Mittens is good. She was rolling around the sunbeam earlier today. Dingus is good. She's out there doing whatever she does. I've been well. I feel like I don't typically elaborate very much on what I've been doing, but I've been really busy lately, and I've been doing a lot of things that have pushed me pretty far out of my comfort zone. For instance, I was in a parade. Like, that is so far away from something that I would typically do, but I'm part of a women's organization, and our town has a Mardi Gras parade every year, and I have joined the community outreach committee, and so then I was in a friggin' parade. How crazy is that? I don't know. But with that being said, March is looking like it's going to be a busy month, and April as well, but with lots of good things to look forward to. So yep, so that's what's been going on with me. Like I said, hope everybody's doing well, and let's get into the stitching. I have one fully finished object, which I don't have to show, but I will insert pictures. I have things that I've worked on, things that I've finished. I have a little bit of stitchy kindness, and I have just a couple things that came in the mail. I really have not been shopping very much at all. Today is Sunday, March 5th, and I know Nashville Needlework Market is going on right now, and I didn't buy anything from Market this year. I'm going on a trip, I think, in April, and I'm gonna save my pennies and do some spending at a stitchy store then. So let's get into it. I guess we'll start with my fully finished object, which like I said, I don't have. I had done like a little sneak of this in my last video that I had been working on it, and that project was Scattered Seed Samplers, Seeds of Kindness, just like this. Also, I have a new setup here. For Christmas, my sister and brother-in-law got me a tripod with a ring light, so things are a little glary or a little weird today. I just have to get used to it. It'll be fine. Anyways, this was the project I was working on. I got this a little while ago as a kit. It came with obviously the pattern. It came with 36 count vintage country mocha, all the DMC, a backing fabric so you can make this into a little stitching mat, and a little bird charm. So I stitched this for my Threaded Wren Group's Smalls Exchange. That's what it looked like. And here is my finish of it. Actually, I did a little video, so if I can, I'll insert that video right here. Hi friends. I wanted to share with you my finish of Scattered Seed Samplers, Seeds of Kindness. I stitched this for a Smalls Exchange with my Threaded Wrens group, and I finished it up. And so that's the pattern. This came as a kit. It came with the fabric, which is a 36 count vintage country mocha, the DMC floss, the backing fabric, a little ribbon, and a little bird charm. So I'll show you. So I made it into just a little stitching mat here. I had this lace that I dipped in some coffee to take some of the white out of it. And then here's the other side. So this was the fabric that came in the kit, and this is the ribbon and the little bird charm that's supposed to make a little scissors fob. And then I added in this plaid wool and these little drops here for threads, and a little pocket, whatever you like in there. And I put a little bit of lace at the bottom because I wasn't super happy with how straight my line was here, so I just covered that up with some lace, because why not? It's all good. So you can just roll it up and have a little mat to have by your stitching to collect all your threads and stuff. So all right, I just wanted to share that because it will be gifted tomorrow. All right, bye guys. Hopefully I did that. If not, I just sat there and looked up. Either way, this was a fun stitch. My partner seemed to like it a lot. It lived in this cute little mushroom bag. You can see there's some of the wool that I used on the inside. And then what I received from that exchange was from Catherine. And she stitched this cute little pattern. It's called Lazy Days of Summer by Earth Threads. I think I have a pattern by them. This is what it looks like. Just so sweet with the yellows and the blues and the pinks. And I told her, she actually included the pattern as well. And I told her that this goes great with my in my stitching room, because these are kind of the colors that are in there. When I redid my room upstairs, I took down old wallpaper and discovered some vintage wallpaper underneath of it, and I have one wall that still has that wallpaper up, and I loved it so much that I took parts of it and framed it for another wall. So this is what that wallpaper looks like. So I think that'll be cute up there with that. So sweet, and Catherine is so sweet and so funny. I like her a lot. All right, so what else have I been working on? I guess we'll start with my monthly projects. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I have working on 3 different monthly projects. They are my lunchtime stitching, and I just rotate through like each one. So the next one that I was working on, I can't remember if I had started this in my last video. If I did, I'll have a picture here. I don't typically do like a verbal cue, like this is what it looked like last time, but if I do have pictures of my like progress pictures, I do put them up when I show the projects. Anyways, this is August Quaker by From the Heart, Needle Art by Wendy. That's what it looked like. I'm stitching all of these on some kind of like creamy 22 count Aida, and they're all 3 colors, and so I've just been choosing colors from my stash. So here are the 3 colors I chose for August's. They all live in this big Maryland bag that I made, and here's where we are. So here is January, February, and March. April, May, June, and July, and here is August. Just my most recent finish. Let me fold that up a little bit. I had the hardest time getting into stitching this, and I don't know why that is. For whatever, this motif here was just really, I couldn't find a good groove with it. Typically, like I said, these are my lunchtime stitching. I brought this in the house. I gave it like 2 good sessions in the house too, just to get it done. I don't know why. It's beautiful. I love the colors. I love how it turned out. I just, you know, just that way sometimes. But that one's done. So I moved on to my Top Knot Stitcher Monthly Moons. I don't have a cover photo for this one, so I'll put it right here. I am working on September's Harvest Moon. They live in this little celestial bag here that I made. I'm stitching them all on 32 count charcoal Lugana, and I'm for the most part using the called for DMC. I've made a couple of substitutions along the way, but this one is just the called for DMC. As you can see, I've just got a little start on this one. I've got one more, I've got to finish this grain, one more grain, and then the background is just the green fill in. So this one should go actually like pretty quickly. Alright, in my last video I was working on Never Enough Time. This was a stitch along I was doing with my friend Allison, and we both have completed it. It's a pattern by the Good Housewife, and it just calls for 1 color, but I did actually end up using 3 colors for this. It's living in this cute little patchwork bag. I have another project that's going to go on the same fabric in here. So these are the colors that I chose. Just 2 browns and a green. This is 35 count, I think. Gray fabric. I had this long skinny piece. And here's my finish. This was very fun and very fast to stitch. I really enjoyed it a lot. It went super quick. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I know that I don't have a lot of margin at the bottom, but that's fine because I improved it myself, so I can just be mad at myself later, and that's good. So there's that, and then I've got another very long skinny piece that'll go on the other half of this. I do have, also I guess, I don't know if this was like maybe like a series that she did, I'm not sure, but I also have this Live Simply one that I would like to do, and then new in my stash, this is something that I've acquired since last I filmed, was this one. This is samplers. So we're looking forward to doing all of those. All right, I'm trying to work on all of my samplers that I have currently going this year, and so when I started the year I had 12 samplers, so I kind of plotted out that I would work on at least one of them per month, excuse me, and try to meet some goals on them if I can. So for February I pulled out Miss Rosina disarray from 1820, and works by ABC. I'll put a cover picture in here of what it will look like. I'm stitching this on 28 count Monaco using the called for DMC, little Diana bag. This Monaco I coffee and tea dyed, and I baked. Oh, my pile's falling down. Anyways, my goal was to get 4 pages done on this project, and I did. So I worked on the center 4 pages. And that was all of the 1/1 verse. So that took a little bit of time. I feel like this is looking like more modeled in the viewfinder. Like it is not quite that dark. It's not that intensely modeled in real life. So I don't know. Like I said, I have to get used to this setup. But here's where we are. So when I pick it up next time, I'll just have the last 4 pages on this side to do, and it'll be done. That was nice. I don't typically mind 1/1. Sorry, there's a little cut right there. There was some barking that happened. I do always try to cut that out if I can. Anyway, so moving on. So I worked on Rosina disarray. I got my 4 pages in. Very good. The next project that I have to share, you know, I'm stitching Stitch for Pride 2023, which is something that Dee of Dee's 20 Stitches has so kindly made for us. And in February, we were supporting and stitching Black creators. So, yeah, I think I showed this last time. Dee's got this great little sticker thing. So as you go through the month and you do your learning and your moments of action and all that good stuff, before you get to your stitching prompt, you can put a little sticker in because, you know, that's fun. I appreciate that. So the project that I pulled out for February's Stitch for Pride was Closely Kept #1 by Shaded Stitchery. This is beautiful. This was inspired by a cased tin type photo. I feel like I can probably show this, the inspiration here. This is the inspiration. So this was a tin type photo. And this came from the Smithsonian, I think, and this was the inspiration that it was etched into some velvet. And this was so, I just think this is so pretty, and this was so nice to stitch. It was like one of those perfect projects where you could just like, I was stitching it in hand, so I could just pick it up and like boop, 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 and like put a couple stitches in, and it went super fast, and I actually finished it up while listening to the Board of Education meeting, which is nice because like you don't have to pay too hard of attention to this because there's no color changes, you know, just a perfect little project. So I stitched that up. I used a piece of, actually it was 36 count flamenco cotton, which looks like this, but I didn't want it to be this bright. So I took it, and I hope you can see the difference there. First I dipped it in some coffee and it didn't really do anything. And then I actually used a little taupe red dye to kind of deepen up the color, and I really like how this turned out. So here's my little finish. So it's just one color. I used a sulky. This is sulky 0035. And I think that is beautiful. I want to find just a little, I feel like a little oval gold frame for it. Cute. That was fun. That lived in this little mousy bag. All right. So I have been working towards finishing up some of my order whips as well, and I wanted to try to get through some of my winter whips. I had 3, and I completed 2 of them actually, so that felt pretty good. This one is from Mill Hill. It's a Buttons and Beads Frosty Morning. I didn't know if I was going to finish this, but it was just really, I was down to like big blocks of color, so it was really relaxing at the end of the evening. So I worked on and finished that. It lived in this little black cat bag, and I might need something behind it here. Here is my finish. Now, I don't love that cardinal button. I might take it off. I'm not sure. But it's pretty sparkly. There's only 2 colors of beads in this one. Lots and lots of white ones. Hopefully you can see, and a couple red in the cardinals. So what do you guys think? Should I take that off? I don't know. I think I might. I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do with this, so we'll see. But I was glad to have that done. Next, I shared this in my last video and I said that I did not think that I was going to finish it, but then I just did. And this is the Old Winter by the Primitive Hair. Last time I shared it, I had finished filling in the deer, and I had told you that I was not happy with the coverage that I had. I had stitched the top part of it while I was still using a Q-snap for this project, and the bottom I had stitched in hand, and the tension was different, and I could see like a delineation line where I had switched my stitching methods, and I was not happy with it. So I made the decision to go back in and do one additional leg on all of the stitches that I did in hand, with just one strand, just to improve the coverage. And I was kind of sick of this, and I was like, I don't even want to look at it. I was feeling very dramatic about it, but I just pulled it out and finished it anyways. So this was stitched using the called for DMC, the called for fabric, which is 30 count White Flakes linen by the Primitive Hair. And here is my finish. I love this so much. So as you can see here, hopefully that the deer is looking much more uniform than it was before. Excuse me, I have something. Yeah, it was a little bit of a pain in the butt to go back in and add that additional stitch. I had to like kind of keep track of where I was, and that was a little bit difficult, but it was fine. It was fine, and I love this fabric. I think I want to make some kind of a wall hanging out of this. That way I can utilize as much of the fabric as possible. If I was going to frame it, I wouldn't want the frame to be that big. So I think maybe like a wall hanging, like a kind of tapestry style wall hanging would be nice. That way the fabric can really shine too. So there she is, all done. So that leaves me with one current winter whip, and I just recently pulled that out. Those have all been living in this winter dog bag. And this one is called Winter Forest by Stitchy Princess. You can find them on Etsy. They're a Ukrainian designer. I have quite a few of their patterns. They're fun, easy to stitch, great big charts. Really nice. I love this because of the border, actually. If you look closely in the border, there are lots of little animals in the border, which is sweet, and trees. And I love the little Baba Yaga house. So this I'm stitching with all of the called for DMC, and I am using a piece of 32 count Belfast color and cotton linen in Stratus. And I was halfway done with this before I pulled it out, and so I've only I worked on it a little bit at a stitch group yesterday and a little bit more last night, but that's it. So I haven't gotten very far since I pulled it out again. My plan is to keep working on this until spring and see if I can get it done. So it'd be nice if I could get all of my current winter projects done. That way I can start some new ones next year. You know, I love I love starting projects. All right, what else have I been working on? I've got two more projects to share. So my orchid is blooming. I don't know anything about orchids. I've had this orchid for going on 6 years, 7 years. Every year it loses one leaf, it grows one new leaf, it blooms. It is in the original pot. I don't know. I don't want to do anything to it because it just seems to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. Either way, we're not here to talk about that. Anyways, my orchid's blooming, and so I put out my lady orchid moth to work on. I'm stitching this as a gift for someone in my life that also loves orchids. I'm using all of the called for DMC and the beads, and this is being stitched on a piece of 28 count Toulouse Even Leaf by Extrude Design in the color Green Apple. Losing this little Maryland bag I made. And my hope was to get halfway done on this project this year, and I more or less, I wouldn't say halfway done the project because she's got a big old skirt down here, but on the chart it's halfway. So here's where I got to. I think that this light is blowing out the color of the green a little bit. And I was like cruising along with her pretty well, and then I put her skin in, and these are the called for colors, but I don't really like, I don't like it. I don't like how it looks. So I backstitched this one, but I didn't do any backstitching up here. I don't know if I should just add the backstitch and see if I like it better. I don't know if I am just overthinking this and being picky, and then when I look at it later I'll be like, oh, never mind, it's fine. But I don't know, something about the gradient, I don't know, I'm just not loving it. So I was gonna keep working on it and like have it out for a while. Like I said, my orchid was blooming, but I think I'm going to just put it away for now. I might see this person in October, but they don't know about it, so if I don't have it done by then, I guess it doesn't matter. All right, one more project. For March, is this the third year, I think, that we have been doing Stitch Asia. This was the brainchild of Abby Bella Stitch, and in March we celebrate Asian designers. So I pulled out my Anne Oman 1873 by Leila's Studio. Looks like this. She's being stitched with some Mo-Silk cotton in the color Bilbao. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that word. Can you see that? I'm not sure. But it's this beautiful blue. Beautiful blue. This has been really nice to work with. This is a little floss holder that was in the Kitten Stitcher Christmas Advent. Is that 2 years ago? It's Andale. It's really pretty. I don't use these very often because I don't stitch, I guess, a whole lot of monochrome. But I love that. And it's a good thing that I like that blue so much, because that was like a 100-yard hang. I've got a ton of that blue. And it lives in this little spooky bag, which has nothing to do with this project, but I just liked it, so it's in there. And it is still in the Q-snap, so please excuse me, but I am currently working on it. This is being stitched on some 36 count Ancient by Picture This Plus, and in my mind, here, let me show you where I'm at. So here's where I am. Beautiful setup, I know. I just really like to have, I could put this on a 11 by 11 and it would be fine, but I just really like an 11 by 17 because I like to have my pattern. I attach my pattern like right here with a needle minder so that when I'm stitching I have everything right there. Anyways, so I am working on the second page. My goal was to get the second page done this go round, and in my mind this leafy border, when I stitched it last time, it just like, I must not have been in a good mindset, or maybe I just couldn't find the right flow for it. I can tell by the back that I stitched this side differently than I stitched this side this time. So but this has been great. I've only had it out, I pulled it out on the 2nd and today's the 5th. So I did the rest of the border and the alphabet and the numbers, and I stitched that whole border and this, and I started in on my bird last night. So I think that maybe another night or maybe 2 and I should be able to get this page finished up. I kind of have a want to keep going, but I'm afraid that if I do, I might burn myself out. I would say the bottom 2 pages are about half the size of the first one. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel once I finish this up. I've got a couple other projects I'd really like to get some work on this month too. So we'll see. Either way, I love this fabric and floss combination. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. Yeah, so you should see that stitched up next time. All right, that's everything that I worked on in the past month or so. So let me just share with you the little bit of things that came in the mail. I'm gonna reach real quick, hang on. not set that up very well. Actually, I did have it set up a little bit better, but when Cora gets really tired, she gets really barky, and she, like, if a leaf blows by the window the wrong way, she is having a small heart attack. So I was upstairs doing something, and I came down, everything had been toppled over, and I was like, oh my gosh, Aaron, what happened? And he said the dog freaked out and ran like into the chair, which knocked the table, whatever, it's a whole thing. Alright, so a little bit of Stitchy kindness. My Threaded Friends group, we did our smalls exchange. That was actually for our 1-year anniversary, which is awesome. And there were a couple little door prizes that we had there, and I won one. Everybody put our names in the basket, and I drew my own name. And it was this cute little notepad that says always in stitches. And it's got like a little magnet. I love little notepads. And then my friend Hannah, who has been stitching the Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods, she finished them. She's given me all of the patterns, which is incredibly generous of her. She is so sweet, but she finished them. So she gave me the beaver and the reindeer. I can't wait to start those. I need to finish. I can't have another monthly series right now. I just can't do it. My Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month came in. This was 40 count Love Letter. A soft peachy color. I am in love with their new tags. I hated those bags with the labels on them. So beautiful, beautiful fabric. I think all of this came from Stash Unloading. I think this is a Quaker Four Corners sampler by the Goodness Wife. This is With Thy Needle, the pumpkin patch. Cute little pumpkin. I got this bag from Melanie on Stash Unloading. She's my bag dealer. Beautiful, I love that. Dee from Dee's 20 Stitches put out a pattern. This is their Let's Make a Statement #1. And it says, trans rights are worth more than boy wizards. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do about this floss, because they used a Brennan needle floss, but so like people have been stitching this, and they've shared like how they've used their DMC to do like the trans flag colors there. So that gave me some good ideas. This is a Lone Elm Lane in the Garden. This is not a great photo. It looks really dark. It says God created, or in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. So I'll take that out and put something else in there. That's cute. The little birds and the moon and the stars. I really like that a lot. I got this little red thread Bent Creek Snappers, the red thread maple pattern. It was like a little maple. When I was a little girl, I had to dance the maple at the mall. Like first grade, maybe elementary school for sure. I guess this is part of a bigger like monthly set, but I just like that one. And lastly, I got this little embroidery kit. Somebody was again, I think on Stash Unload it was like just pay shipping. Yeah, I really like these. These are little they're called Country Thresholds. They're cute. They come with all the stuff. I also downloaded Hands Across the Sea had Pretty Polly as a freebie, but my printer, I don't know, is giving me struggles, so I was only able to print that. I don't know. I'll put a picture. It's fine. Okay, I think that is everything I have to share today. I hope everybody's been well. I hope, yeah, I hope everything's good with all of you. I don't know. Before I start rambling, I'm just gonna go. All right, love you all.